As we leave 2023 behind and embark on a new journey, it's a perfect time to reflect on where we've been and where we're going. We often hear that greatness begins with a single step, and that couldn't be more true as we step into the unknown of a new year. Each of us stands at the threshold of something bigger, something greater, as the final chapter of 2023 closes and the first page of 2024 opens. It's not just about setting goals for the year, but about thinking deeply about how we can be the best version of ourselves tomorrow. Life often feels like an uncharted journey, filled with both hope and uncertainty. Each day presents us with a new opportunity to shape our destiny, to make decisions that reflect who we are and who we wish to become. The ancient Stoics understood this. They were not just philosophers lost in abstract thought but were deeply connected with life's rhythms, facing real-world challenges with a sense of purpose and clarity. Their teachings, timeless and profound, can guide us as we enter 2024, helping us to cultivate habits that enhance our lives, not just for the sake of the new year, but for the future. We all reflect on the past year in some way. Perhaps it's on a quiet evening in December, when we allow ourselves to think about what has happened, what we've accomplished, and what we could have done differently. It's a time to look forward, not just in setting fleeting resolutions, but in creating habits that stick, habits that shape our lives in meaningful ways. Let's consider a few simple practices, inspired by the Stoics, that can help us as we transition into the new year. These are not lofty ideals but practical, accessible actions that we can incorporate into our daily lives. Start small. This is perhaps the most important principle to keep in mind as we think about change. George Washington, a man whose resolve shaped a nation, cherished the saying, "Many mickles make a muckle," a Scottish proverb that captures the profound truth that big things are made up of small steps. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, echoed this sentiment when he said that well-being is realized by small steps, though it is no small thing. The idea here is that transformation doesn't happen in great leaps, but in tiny, deliberate strides. Each small action builds on the last, like planting seeds. Each seed may seem insignificant on its own, but together they grow into something magnificent. Think of a simple goal, like reading more. Instead of overwhelming yourself with a target that feels unreachable, commit to reading just one page a day. It's like building a mosaic, each small piece adds to the bigger picture. A habit begins with a single action, and with time, these actions add up. James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, illustrates this beautifully. He reminds us that the power of habits isn't necessarily in their immediate potential but in their cumulative nature. Small changes, like atoms, may seem insignificant at first, but they can lead to massive transformations. It's not just about doing small things, but also about thinking small. Don't fall into the trap of making grand promises that are hard to keep. Focus on what's in front of you, the immediate, the achievable. As you string together small victories, you'll find that they lead to significant changes in your life. Just as the mightiest rivers start as tiny trickles, your journey to greatness begins with a single step. Next, let's talk about anxiety. We all face anxiety at some point. It's like a storm brewing within us, whispering fears about what could go wrong or what might happen. But the Stoics remind us that we are not puppets, and anxiety should not pull the strings. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most respected Stoic philosophers, understood this well. In his Meditations, he wrote about escaping from anxiety, not because the world around him changed, but because he recognized that the turbulence was inside him. The lesson here is that anxiety is not external, it's something we create in our minds. The key to overcoming it is to own our feelings, to recognize that anxiety comes from our thoughts, not from the world. How do we break free from this invisible chain? Start by being mindful of your thoughts. When anxiety arises, take a moment to breathe and ask yourself whether your worry is based on reality or on what you fear might happen. More often than not, you'll find that your fears are exaggerated. The Stoics teach us that anxiety is not a solution to potential problems, it doesn't prepare us for the future, it paralyzes us. It's like sitting in a rocking chair, constantly moving but never going anywhere. So as we step into the new year, let's commit to freeing ourselves from anxiety's grip, approaching life with a clear mind and a steady heart. Creating a routine is another practice that can make a profound difference in our lives. Imagine your day as a blank canvas. Without structure, it's easy to waste time and energy on unimportant things. But with a routine, your day becomes a masterpiece, a well-crafted balance of productivity and peace. The Stoic philosopher Seneca understood the importance of routine, noting that a life without design is erratic. The idea isn't to create a rigid schedule but to build a framework that allows you to focus your energy effectively. Think about when you're most productive. Are you a morning person, full of energy as the sun rises? Or does your creativity peak later in the day? Tailor your routine to your natural rhythm, dedicating your most productive hours to your most important tasks. For some, this might mean starting the day with a walk or a moment of reflection before diving into work. For others, it could mean structuring the evening for creative projects or relaxation. The key is consistency. As you stick to your routine, you'll find that it becomes the foundation for good habits, providing the structure you need to thrive. As we step into the new year, it's also important to give ourselves permission to stop when necessary. We live in a world that often glorifies constant productivity and busyness. But true mastery of self, as the Stoics remind us, comes from knowing when to stop. Dwight D. Eisenhower, faced with a smoking habit that threatened his health, gave himself the order to quit, and he did so cold turkey. His story is a testament to the power of self-discipline. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said that no one is free who is not a master of themselves. This means that we all have something in our lives, a habit, a distraction, or a behavior, that holds us back. The first step to overcoming it is recognizing its impact and giving yourself the firm, clear order to stop. It's not about gradual change, it's about making a decisive, deliberate decision to reclaim your freedom. As we move into 2024, remember that you are the commander of your destiny, and mastering yourself is the first command. Time is one of our most precious resources, yet we often squander it on trivial things. The Stoics remind us to focus on what truly matters, to free up our time for the essential. Epictetus spoke of the need to appear clueless about some things if we wish to improve. In today's world, this might mean cutting back on screen time, reducing mindless scrolling, or limiting exposure to distractions. Awareness is the first step. Track how you spend your time for a day or a week, and you'll likely be surprised at how much is wasted on things that don't contribute to your well-being or growth. Once you're aware of where your time goes, take action. Set limits on distractions and dedicate more time to the things that truly matter, your goals, your relationships, your passions. By reclaiming your time, you create space for the pursuits that enrich your life. This is not just about time management but about life management. Every minute spent on something meaningless is a minute taken away from something meaningful. Doing something difficult is another powerful way to grow. Seneca, who lived the principles of Stoicism in both word and deed, once plunged into the icy waters of the Tiber River not for a swim, but as an act of self-mastery. It was a declaration that he was in control of his mind and body, that he could endure discomfort and challenge with strength and resilience. In our own lives, doing something difficult might mean stepping out of our comfort zones in big or small ways. Maybe it's waking up earlier than usual, taking a cold shower, speaking up in a meeting, or learning something new. It's not the difficulty itself that matters but the act of pushing our boundaries, proving to ourselves that we can do hard things. This year, challenge yourself to embrace discomfort, knowing that it is in these moments of challenge that we grow the most. The company we keep has a profound impact on who we become. The Stoics understood this well. Seneca, in his letters, often spoke about the importance of surrounding oneself with people who inspire growth and wisdom. The idea is simple: if you spend time with those who elevate you, you too will rise. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with those who are negative or uninspired, you will inevitably be pulled down. Take a close look at the people in your life. Do they support your growth? Do they embody the qualities you admire? This isn't about cutting people out of your life, but about being intentional with your relationships. Find those who challenge you, who share your values, and who push you to be better. Create your own circle of people who are committed to personal growth, and you'll find that you don't just grow, you thrive. Another important lesson from the Stoics is to stop fearing change. Life is constantly changing, and the more we resist, the harder it becomes. Marcus Aurelius understood this well. In his writings, he often reflected on the nature of change, noting that everything in life is in a state of transformation. To fight change is to fight nature itself. As we move into 2024, let's embrace the changes that come our way, knowing that they are part of life's natural flow. Change doesn't have to be scary, it can be an opportunity for growth. When we let go of our fear of the unknown, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. Embrace the idea that life is a journey, not a destination, and that change is what makes the journey interesting. By doing so, we allow ourselves to evolve, to adapt, and to thrive in the face of whatever comes our way. Finally, as we enter the new year, let's commit to being grateful. It's easy to get caught up in what we don't have, but the Stoics teach us to focus on what we do have. Gratitude is a powerful practice that shifts our perspective and helps us appreciate the beauty and abundance in our lives. When we take the time to reflect on what we're grateful for, we cultivate a sense of contentment and joy. As you move into 2024, take a moment each day to reflect on something you're grateful for. It could be something small, like a warm cup of coffee, or something big, like the support of loved ones. By practicing gratitude, you'll find that your outlook on life becomes more positive and that you're more equipped to handle challenges with grace. So, as we step into 2024, let's do so with intention. Let's embrace the teachings of the Stoics, not as abstract philosophy, but as practical wisdom that can guide us on our journey. Whether it's starting small, mastering our thoughts, creating a routine, or embracing change, these simple practices can help us live a life of purpose and meaning. The new year is a blank page, and we hold the pen. Let's make it a year to remember.